To see whether that last isn't, whether that roll off or that one-on-one matchup, the two Gibson on cloak.
Opening bounce. The grand final beckons. Rucks go at it. Jolly wins it down. Over the football, Rioli digs a hand pass out. Mitchell, Bateman slung back to Mitchell, smothered off the boot. Swan run towards half forward. Terrific mark. Stretching there was Murphy. Feeds it back inside his defensive 50. Schoenmakers. Nice kick comes out wide. Lewis in very good form. Oh, too tall for Rioli initially. Finds it on the deck. Dances. Kicks inside the 50. Jolly favoured by the kick. Takes the mark. Davis. Now there's nothing on around the outer side. He'll notice that in a minute when he looks up. He just kicks for distance. Going back. Murphy grabs it again. Well, he should have looked earlier.
So a couple of good touches for Murphy. He missed that 08 grand final. He was one of the unlucky ones. Lewis back to Gibson. This is their want, Hawthorn, isn't it? Birchall, who Collingwood sat on when they played them earlier this year. Now Birchall, just a little short, but did very well. Smith, Bateman, Mitchell on the left. Normally very good. Here's a big go for Hale at the back. And a fair bit of it. Not paid. Shaw, O'Brien, Davis. We'll be saying those names in the same sentence a lot.
Well, just a downfield free kick to Leon Davis. Here's a hit from Buddy Franklin, just to push in the back. What we're seeing is Hawthorn not getting really deep entries at the moment. Need to get it a little bit further and closer to goal.
Hasn't Jolly started well. This one goes inside the forward 50, and the mark is taken running back by Dawes, and that'll be 50.
You've got to come back. Here's your mark here.
Well, it's not going to be 50. Schoenmakers very lucky.
Hawthorn, as their want, have got the spare man back, but that means Collingwood have got the spare in that end. They always mop up so well when the ball goes off hands, and that quick rebound was what created the kick over the top for Dawes to lead back.
So Jolly marking in defence, kicking inside the forward 50, been everywhere. Dawes, that's a terrible kick. He could have done with the 50. I'm still at a loss to know why it wasn't. Hit the behind post.
Significant matchup also. Schoenmakers had a couple of tough finals. He's got the direct matchup on Dawes. Got an early touch, so the confidence should be okay, but let off the hook there with the poor kick from Dawes.
So Burgoyne, they can't clear it though. Johnson scoots around as he so often does. Back to centre half forward. Dawes led everybody to the ball. Poor handball. Asked a lot of ball, then gang tackle. They rip it off him. Smith caught by ball. That's a brilliant tackle. Richo, you've had your eyes on Leon Davis.
He's on fire early. He's already had 2 rebound 50s, Bruce. He averages 480 metres gained per game for Collingwood. Puopolo's got the job. He has to tighten up there.
Bounce inside the forward 50. Jolly tries to hook it down behind. Mitchell trapped it, then knocks it. Smith a quick hand pass. Lewis feeds it back. Sewell had a chance down. Blair. Swan. Smothered off the boot brilliantly. Burgoyne. Then ran himself into trouble. Attracted a crowd. Blair trying to pull it out of there. He moved the entire pack, the little man, like he was pulling a trailer or a tractor.
Just watching the Collingwood back line at the moment, Dennis. They just have that great ability to roll off, and so when Hawthorn look up, there's great visual pressure and puts them under perceived pressure when they've got the ball in hand.
Jolly won the wrestle.
Darren Jolly. Both on him, then you wouldn't let him go. Thank you, just there.
Wanted to give off to O'Brien. So Jolly with his fast start, he might have been a bit jolly lucky there.
Ryan, Schoenmakers. No, your hand went back, got him in the head. Yes, thank you, Travis.
So Cloak just taking his time to get it back to Schoenmakers. Big night for Schoenmakers. Struggled against the Cats, a bit better last week. Started okay. Hale, not quite. Reed at the back. Boundary throw-in. So Collingwood's had the best chance so far. Dawes from about 30. Missing the lot. 2 premiership coaches tonight. One of them at the end with Collingwood, and one of them maybe right in the middle. Who knows with Hawthorn. Beams to Pendlebury. Pendlebury, that is a pretty good kick, actually. So tight in, and Collingwood get the first score of the preliminary final.
Thanks, Chris. There. Thank you.
Schoenmakers plays on out of the back pocket. telling kick towards the wing. Well done by Maxwell over Rioli. O'Brien goes after the football. Eventually it dribbles on to be taken by side bottom. Fuopolo shrugs off a would-be tackler, goes down towards half forward. Tarrant leads the race to the footy. Big roar over the top. Smith. Can he play another first quarter like his last two? Ball goes out of bounds.
When Tarrant comes and leads Franklin to the ball, that makes every Collingwood player feel a bit better, I reckon.
Just watch his eyes there, Lee. He has eyes purely on the football. He obviously knows where Franklin is, but was hell-bent on winning the ball himself.
Jolly front spot. Bailey tried to get the handball away. Thomas and ball. Close to the line, ball. Clever handball. Then Jolly fended off. That's a free kick against him. So Saul, one of the three key Hawthorn players that didn't play when they lost to Collingwood this year. Lewis and Rioli, the other two. Franklin.
Block. Against you. Come back, Taz, come back. Back to him now. Come back here.
So Franklin's free kick against Davis.
Boy, that's very...
Just the turn of the head there. If you take your eyes off the ball and go to the opponent.
He's very lucky to get that call, Franklin.
Well, it's always Buddy's range and Buddy's pocket or Buddy's angle. And he doesn't always kick him Buddy straight, but all square. He's up and about, but he's on a bloke that was the Buddy of Collingwood about 8 years ago. Tarrant, wasn't he? Is now Shaw out wide.
High ball towards the wing. Schoenmakers makes it 3 and gets it out of bounds.
I tell you what, the Fords will be happy if that umpiring decision is repeated for the entire game, so there won't be too much blocking off the ball if that happens in the market contest.
There they are. Third man up was Lewis. Dumps it down in front, close to the boundary line. Mitchell sends it along that boundary line. Reaching up for the football, getting his fingertips to it was Reid, and that was enough. Coming through was Shaw, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Osborne was the other player there for Hawthorn who came through and made some contact with Shaw. He'll be really important to make sure that players like Shaw and O'Brien Davis don't rebound all night for the Pies.
Heavy body work, Jolly, but into the path of Shields. Tackled well by O'Brien. Rolls across towards Reid. Hand passes straight to Lewis. Lewis snaps, bounce. Did it get touched? I don't think so. It's a goal.
He's playing a variety of roles this year. Jordan Lewis has played some defensive forward roles. Played a great role on Chris Giant a couple of weeks ago when they played Carlton at Etihad Stadium. And he was one of the really crucial parts, as Bruce mentioned, who missed in round 15, provides that grunt, that physical presence. And you look there with Sam Mitchell and obviously Luke Hodge and Brad Sewell also.
Good interception. Really, it's just the errant handball, decepted, good bounce to the ball. Good morale boosting start for the Hawks to get the first goal.
Bit of a wonky bounce. Brown, white cross. G. Thomas did well there not to put a high one on him. Ball up. So Maxwell just couldn't get the fingertips to it, eh?
Nah, just short.
Well, the glove. Ball held up. Well done by Lewis in the end. It was a great tackle by Shields. Belted forward by Bateman. So couldn't get it to Franklin. Well played, Tarrant. To Maxwell. To Davis. And Davis's handball to Reid. And this will be the litmus test. How quickly and how effectively Collingwood can get it out of their back 50. Hawthorn could slow them up.
I was going to say Hawthorn have been able to finally get Gibson free. But Collingwood got a free down the other end. That'll just be a contest within itself. Who's the extra man?
So side bottom down the line.
Dawes the crumb. Schoenmakers hit him hard. Dawes kept on going, and the umpire will ball it up.
It's really interesting watching Josh Gibson then. He saw Lee Brown back in his defensive 50 look and didn't quite attack the contest with the same conviction because the stakes are really high tonight.
Bounce down towards half forward for the Magpies. Osborne directs it towards the boundary. Thomas, great to see him back, but only this far this time with the kick. There's Burgoyne. Across the ground. Murphy, who started well. Guerra, just outside the defensive 50. Tackled in midair. Whitecross. He's been in very good form. He's got under the radar, averaging 20 possessions over his last 3 games. Not his best effort, Shields. Maybe that's why he got so many possessions. It came back to him. Guerra. That's clever. I should have thought of that. Shields on the wing. Takes off. Down towards half forward. The Schoenmakers dropped it initially. Paddles it across looking for Lewis. Lewis able to knock it away from ball that goes out of bounds.
Again, we're trying to tell what's happening, not happening on the screen. Hawthorn have successfully offered to get Gibson back, and Reid is his opposite number for Collingwood. That's the contest.
And Reid played that so well against the Hawthorn team in round 15. Got all the big numbers. She was inside. Here is Reid. So he's kicked to Shaw. Now he's really quick now. Can Whitecross corral him here? He needs to. Shaw on the burst. Played the percentages. Blair was quickly to react. And now Cracker's in a good spot. Can't quite get back. Burgoyne was brilliant. Superb by Burgoyne. They might get away. They might not get away. Cracker butted up. Good stuff.
That's preliminary final football.
Where's the tackling pressure you need in the forward line? That's the thing that Collingwood do so well at ground level. Even if the opposition have got a spare back, their tackling pressure is really good.
Dangerous position for the Hawks right here. We'll have another bounce, I fancy. Whoop, no, we won't. Hawthorn free. Mitchell gets it, holding the ball against Pendlebury at the base of that pack. Guerra. Very short. Murphy. As Bruce said, an emergency in their premiership side. Little chip outside the defensive 50. Johnson did well. Got high, got a hand to it. Affected the footy. Came to Swan. Johnson expecting Swan to have run on. Eventually he did. Goes long down towards full forward and just misses. Well, they did make something out of nothing right there.
So Didac the sub-8. So the 2 Brownlow favourites for Collingwood scoring behinds from the same pocket. Hawthorn play this dangerous game, don't they? It's just one turnover here and you know that you're going to pay for it. Still they're trying to extricate themselves from the Collingwood web, and then Reid belts it over the line.
And we see Reid belt the ball over line. Structurally, both sides are set up quite well. We've mentioned Reid and also Gibson, but the alternate is Murphy and Johnson, the smaller mid-range type players.
That's right. Hawthorn sort of just are swapping a little bit, aren't they? Sometimes Gibson on Cloak, sometimes Stratton even.
Gee, Thomas was good. He charged through, but his kick was marked by Schoenmakers, who's, geez, put his teammate under huge pressure. Schoenmakers made a couple of massive blues in this opening term now.
Yeah, he makes you nervous when he's got the ball.
It's 50.
Oh, isn't that a big 50?
Well, it's an excuse
for not manning the mark correctly.
So Guerra won't come back, defying the umpire and a 50-metre penalty. That's not unsociable, that's just dumb. Goal. Cloak.
It looked like he was oblivious to the umpire's call. The umpire was about a metre behind him. You wouldn't have thought, even with crowd noise, that could be a reason not to be listening to the umpire, but he completely ignored him.
It all started with the turnover, the hand pass from Schoenmakers hit the deck, so which enabled Collingwood to keep inside their forward 50 and apply the press, which they've become famous for, and got the turnover and converted that directly into a goal. See the reaction. That's the reaction from the free kick with Clarkson. And Guerra just didn't see him. Couldn't hear him. Didn't come back.
Reaction. Yeah.
You're spot on, Tom. He just could not hear him at all. He had no idea the umpire was there. So loud down here.
You'll hear the coach at quarter time. There goes Rioli. Inside the forward 50, ball goes back, takes the mark. Fitness tests, hearing tests. When will it stop? Short run comes out from ball, and Cracker just forward of right half back, sends it towards the wing. Jolly surrounded, did brilliantly, lays it off. Willingham inside the forward 50 with a spring from behind doors almost. Cloak on his left side, kicks towards full forward. That was untidy. They had the numbers there too. The ball bounces through for a behind. Collingwood lead by 2. They still trail by a dozen possessions to Hawthorn.
It's interesting there. Jolly took the mark and he took 3 Hawthorn players with him and it all opened up.
Yeah.
So a little nervy test now for the Hawks. That's in the back against Bailey.
Darren Jolly took him under the ball, straight to him. Thank you.
Gee, what a mark. I mean, Dennis was on to Jolly early in this quarter. He has made a real mark early.
Well.
Move it on, play on.
So decides to put it to centre half forward. Big fly, Dawes.
Just so hard against Collingwood when they keep the ball inside their forward 50 or forward half for a period of time. It's just that pressure and it's coming and coming and coming. Get the turnover and then drive it straight back in, and this is the result.
We saw Gibson on the screen there, but he wasn't just able to get his hand above the big Collingwood forwards. He had a bit of space to run and jump, but when Dawes and Cloak are in there, there's a lot of body weight in the pack.
Geelong set the blueprint a couple of weeks, didn't they, ago against Hawthorn with marks inside the forward 50 by their big guys. So Dawes' first kick was a shocker. That's better. So Cloak and Dawes, the big guys, get the first 2 goals for the Pies.
And one of the good news stories for Collingwood in this early stage is Darren Jolly. He's had a fairly quiet last few weeks, but started really well tonight.
And Dawes as well a bit, because he's also been down.
Yeah, he's got a couple early, and again, that's 2 Collingwood players who've been struggling a little bit of late.
Here's the isolated vision on Josh Gibson. He clearly got the intent to get up, but just a little bit short. This is straight after the mark. Josh Gibson is clearly the general for the Hawthorn defence. So during the break, called them all in, just said, guys, we've got to hang tough here. It's going to be coming in.
Bailey knocked it down. Cracker pushed in the back. I want to take advantage there. It worked okay. Pendlebury gave it to ball out to Davis. Davis kicks inside the forward 50. 3-on-1. Dawes did his job. Got the ball on the deck. And the cavalry arrived. Side bottom. Flicked it forward. Plenty of Hawks back. Weira falling to the ground. Obviously heard the call that time. Gave it out towards Burgoyne to Lewis to Mitchell. Around the outer side. Getting back is O'Brien. Stayed in. O'Brien goes along the line. Davis, ample time. Drives it long, still just a metre inside the boundary. That's fine for Collingwood. They'll regroup just outside their 50.
I think they realised that driving the ball into the centre corridor in their forward 50, the Hawthorn spare will drop back there, so they go a little bit wide under pressure.
Bailey at the back this time gets his hands to it. Out of there by Wellingham. Oh, that's high, Birchall. So now Murphy asks a bit of Gibson. White cross, good mark.
Clever kick.
And held up by Shaw. And White cross inboard to Lewis, who scored the opening goal of the match. Short to Osborne. And he's looking outside. Hale, too far to score the goal, you would think. Rioli's on the march. Does he go to him? No, Rioli leaves it and Davis takes the mark. So Rioli and Franklin, they're 2 superstars. Indecisive there. Well done, Burgoyne. I reckon he's been good early, Burgoyne.
Yeah, a couple of really good, solid grunt efforts. One down back and putting his body on the ball.
He's mainly opposed to Cracker. That's going to be a classy matchup. They've got some skill, those 2. So confidently, and Davis forcing himself at the footy.
Ball behind the pack. Wellingham. Cracker handled it well. Johnson stifled by Shields. Tarrant falling to the ground, did nicely. Releases side bottom, goes along the boundary line. Small target, but the small target does okay. And he was taken high. A contradiction in terms. Blair gets the free kick. And there is some bad news. I think the Seagulls have worked out the Eagles are in cages. Ball comes back towards O'Brien. O'Brien across the face of goal. Davis. Nothing to kick to again. This time he's been told to play on, but he realises the problem. Shaw comes through the interchange gates. He did come inside the field of play, but he marked it outside, so they turn it over.
So we need a really deep entry here, Hawthorn. They can't get the ball sort of inside 40. They need it right inside 20, I reckon.
Perfect, that's it. Back 1 metre now, 1 metre. Perfect.
So let's see if Bateman can get it to that sort of hot spot that Tom's talking about. Clever kick. The angle's tight. Now does Mitchell go inboard or have the shot from here?
They had to go to that difficult angle, though. Jolly was camped back on the front of the goal square, so a long, high ball would have been right into his hands.
He's kicked more goals this season than any other Mitchell. This is tight. Now, that's an interesting kick. Not quite sure what he was trying to do. It hasn't turned out too well. Pendlebury from Jolly, and Collingwood do extremely well. Doors up the ground.
Jolly's been sensational.
He's been good.
All over the ground.
Must have been waiting till the 3rd week of September to really find his form.
Ball towards the outer side. Oh, well done, Gibson. Well done, Cloak. Lewis tackled down to the ground. Jarred out of there. Holding the ball is the call. Tried to wriggle free. Side bottom had him.
Back to him. No, just here.
Side bottom on the wing. Just get the feeling that Collingwood is starting to turn the screw a little. Here's Johnson. Johnson jabs it back towards the boundary. Ball a fumble. Put himself under pressure, and as a result, kicks it straight out of bounds. Stratton to take the kick. Stratton, boy from East Perth. Good to see him back. Goes to Birchall. Tasmania. Oh, Gibson waited. Took the mark. Tom Petty said it best. The waiting is the hardest part. Towards the outer side. Ball surely a free kick. Bit unlucky on Hale.
No, he ended up grabbing him in the face.
He did. But it was late. Very late. But still a free kick.
David Hale.
Watch this again.
Back here. Back here. Keep coming.
Just to slip the hand, not much in that.
Johnny the target, and at the back, Cloak. Gee, well done, Blair. Stood up in the tackle, bangs it back towards Door. Gibson courageously comes across the big truck doors and takes the mark. Gonna have to take some hard hits in the back half, aren't they, those defenders? Because you know that Cloak and Dawes are going to come at you. And they're crash bang forwards.
Hemmed in here, Hawthorn can't afford a mistake this deep in.
Bateman, they just haven't got it far though, have they now? Bateman, oh! Wanted for Gibson. So Stratton away. Lewis. So the advantage now is Hawthorn's. Rioli looks up. Lovely kick finds Hale. He had Franklin deep, but he lowered the eyes and saw Hale at centre half forward.
Really smart play by Jordan Lewis on the outside. Just initiated the contact with Heath Shaw, I think it was. Watch it here with Jolly. As soon as you make the contact, you'll either get the free kick or it goes over the top.
Wish we would when Hawthorn went from the back pocket into the middle of the centre corridor. They almost turned it over. Would have been a Collingwood goal, but they maintained possession and then they were able to go out the open side.
5 times this year, Hale's kicked at least 2 goals. You reckon tonight they need a minimum 2 out of him? He's got to be a supplement for Franklin, and you're not going to get many better chances than that. 35 metres out directly in front.
So the margin 7 points, approaching quarter time. Hawthorn started with a lot of energy. But Collingwood worked their way back in nicely. That's a terrible kick. Well, the centimetre perfect. It was still terrible. Well, there he is.
The Eagles might be there, but the Seagulls have come.
Yeah,
They've worked it out.
There is one frustrated guy. Ball inside the 50. Mark on his chest by Maxwell. Chips it to the pocket. Taken by Shaw. Shaw along the boundary. Off hands. Putting the head down. Thomas wins a free kick. I tell you what they need. Brett Heady up there. He was in insulation. He'd know what to do. There's Thomas. Slips a hand pass away. Oh, clever. Nice by Shaw, gets it back from ball while they're working in that proverbial phone box. Eventually, Pendlebury kicks it out of bounds on the bounce.
Now that was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was 4 clevers in one little play, wasn't it? Clever, clever.
There's the best of them.
Perfect out of bounds.
Well, he's pretty good at clever, Pendlebury, isn't it? Burgoyne a bit slow to get back there, and Blair just brushes him aside and then just squeezes a little. Murphy, Gibson released, should get a good bounce here. Left footer, but he's got plenty of time to get onto that. And he's got Smith, or that's and Hodge. We haven't called much, have we, Hodge?
No.
Short.
Had us 40 times last time they
He
played.
started forward, Hodge, but he's pushed up in the middle of the ground now.
Just 2 disposals for Hodge, so quiet start. Gee, Smith's a fast starter, and a lovely kick to a bloke who's also a beautiful kick, and Birchall.
Mitchell, run down, gets the kick away though. Davis over the top will be penalised. Fuopolo's going to get the free kick, is he? Or is it relay? It's going against Davis, I reckon.
Just here.
Heard the explanation.
No, nothing in that.
Gee, it's going to be hard to spoil from behind if that's a free
Yeah,
kick.
the forwards are getting the rub of the green so far, Leon.
A little unlucky, Leon. A couple of his free kicks against had set shots and goal resulted, but pretty unlucky.
Fuopolo living the dream. 68 games for Norwood. Slides it across the face, helped on its way by Jolly behind. Tough as nails, that young man. And that elder statesman as well. Case hardened.
Just see Anthony Rocker there, Den. He's playing the on-field bench role that Mark Newell played.
So Davis, side up by 6 points to himself. Runs to the pocket. Kicks it outside the defensive 50. Dawes is on the way. There's going to be a free kick in front. It's going to be a free kick to Hawthorn. And Hale will get it 70 metres out. Clock at about 1:27. Dawes bounced off his chest, but it was a Hawthorn free earlier. Kick goes to the pocket. Maxwell knocks it towards the boundary. It's out.
Saw Nick Maxwell the other week, and he's shaking hands left-handed, so he's playing, but his right hand is still sore.
Just gets to the right spot so often, the captain, doesn't he? As he did then. Shields to Bailey, and kicked a goal in the first quarter last week to Bailey, a behind.
I've seen this a couple of times with Hawthorn games where they've had a run of momentum and just haven't been able to get the score on the board.
So Davis puts it in the path of Johnson, who lures Saul to him to Beams, to Swan. Hard-running Swan, he takes Mitchell on, and Brown helps him a bit, and then Swan through the centre has opened up Hawthorn.
Jolly.
Ball gone, not quite. Thomas and Cracker wanted the same footy. Cracker, little kick forward, and they've made a meal of it. Hawthorn let off the leash here. Got to get it on here.
That's clever.
Gee, that was well done in the end. White cross now to take on O'Brien down the line.
Leading back in the race, Maxwell. He's got plenty of help, but the ball had a mind of its own. Bounced out of bounds. Tim?
A bit of intrigue down on the Collingwood bench at the moment. Ben Reid has disappeared downstairs with the medicos, and Alan Didak's actually doing a little bit of a warm-up down here.
Wow. That could have repercussions no matter what happens. All up. Ben Reid, All Australian. Didak, certainly not an apple for an apple. Kick forward by Sewell. Dying seconds of the term. Collingwood need to hold. It's going to be a score. Fuopolo released by Franklin. Clock running down. It stops on 3. He didn't know that, but he got the goal. And Hawthorn grabbed the lead.
Just the body strength there of Lance Franklin to stand up. He knew exactly where the space was, held his direct opponent, and just palmed it down to himself. And Fuopolo was there to pick up the piece. That was strong power forward play by Lance Franklin.
So the siren has got you. Davis had an interesting first quarter, 10 disposals, a couple of free kicks against him. Fuopolo kicks the goal at the end. Quarter time, preliminary final on the Friday night. Great opening turn. Hawthorn snatched the lead on the death. It's 2-3 to 2-4.
There we are, Franklin. He hasn't been able to get into the game yet. Terrence doing okay. Pendlebury and Mitchell in the middle.
Start of the second term, wide of the pack. Swan, the opening kick of the term, taken by Ball. Inside to Johnson. Franklin was there, wide-armed, waiting for him. Rioli and Brown. Ball up.
Been a high bouncing from end to end, 15 to 16 inside 50 inches. That means that there's a lot of ball going from end to end.
Jolly missed the footy. Swan didn't.
On the ball. Advantage, advantage.
Mitchell plays on, goes down towards half forward. Franklin. Sidesteps Brown. Back to Mitchell, who's run on. Good shepherd from Osborne. Bought Mitchell some time and he used it well. Finds Rioli. Hard against the boundary line. Last week from a similar situation, he found a teammate inside. The marking of Collingwood looks a lot better than Sydney's right now. So Rioli, he's looking inside. Side up by a point. He's mercurial, and this not beyond him. And he slides it towards the goal line. Put it in too close. Luckily, though, it bounces out of bounds, so Hawthorn lock it in inadvertently.
Interesting, Franklin, who stayed outside the forward 50 for all of that, didn't he? He started up in the middle.
Just taking Tarrant Bruce into uncomfortable circumstances.
Bailey lays it down. Davis caught over the top, did well. Pendlebury dropped it down in the end, no free kick, and I think it'll be a ball up.
There's the good structure. You just see Josh Gibson there, the last Hawthorn player. He's providing the anchored defence role, which Tarrant does for the Pies.
Lewis, third man up. Shields, just one that got it to Smith, who toe poked it. O'Brien had to wait and then has to blaze. Swan was fantastic. That is a contested mark, isn't it? He had one in front, Puopolo, and he had one coming hard at the back in Murphy. Davis, no one's had as much of the footy as Davis. Back to Swan. Gee, that's a Hawthorn-like kick. To Pendlebury, to Swan, to Pendlebury. Running and roping to Swan. They haven't been able to hold them in, and the two champs have got it a fair way down the ground, but they may have it turned over. Franklin caught by the Hale handball, and then Brown. And that's a good result for the Hawks, because it looked like the champions were going to run it down the ground.
It's really interesting watching that lead. I think if Collingwood are in that situation, they have the zone, they have the box, but Hawthorn are playing predominantly a one-on-one defensive game.
Franklin wide of the pack, trying to crash his way through. This is Shields getting an arm in there. Is Ball, but he's penalised for in the back.
He's back, Cammy, he's back.
Well, moments ago, they put the ball in the hands of Leon Davis, and Davis really didn't want to take the responsibility and send it back to Swan, and that really got them into trouble.
They're not getting much release either, Collingwood, actually, when they need a really hard runner to get to that sort of space out of defence. They're just not getting those targets out there.
Shields to Hodge.
Run through the mark, Luke.
Yeah.
Please stay out of the protected area.
Doesn't get that sort of latitude. He doesn't get the buddy latitude. He can't go across the mark of somebody else kicking. There's Shields. Crowded fever pitch. The short one intended for Hale. He kept on coming. Clattered into Thomas. Pendlebury gives it to Johnson. Thomas. Wonderful chase. Rioli affected the kick. Only went 10 metres. Picked up by Smith. High ball inside the forward 50. Puopolo. And it punched away by Jolly. Roving the pack in front. Sewell. Some indecision. Getting low was Cracker. And he wins the free kick at centre-half back. And Sewell needs to be careful. Cracker. Short to Ball. They need to move it quickly. Ball goes long down towards half forward. Cloak has stolen a march on Gibson in the back. Well, Cloak had already missed the mark, but Gibson's momentum gives away the free kick. So Cloak now with Brown dropping back. They want it long down there. Two big men. Brown and Dawes knocked down by Hawthorn. Both the big fellows on the deck. Well done, show and makers to Sewell, to Mitchell. Spring at his step. Mitchell comes away, goes short, finds Gibson. Gibson releases Rioli.
Good stuff. Rioli's got to buy some time here. Couldn't get the ball to Franklin. He was too far away. We've got to keep their call here. They're being challenged hard. Collingwood have got the press up here.
There's that strength.
It's Swan. I reckon only Jolly can out bench press him at the club, and he showed a bit of that strength there.
He's back.
He just shoved Smith out of the road, didn't he? That was just the bench press push.
Like a rag doll. So Johnson's free kick. And then Johnson kicks right to Jolly. Bailey Jolly.
Oh.
So Reid back out there. Big story of the opening quarter. Ben Reid. All square in the prelim final, early stages of the second quarter.
Oh, the man was virtually in the goal square as Birchall kicked it to himself. Blair got under the radar, not surprisingly. Knocked down by O'Brien. In front of the pack, here's a chance now for Swan. Slowly coming into the game. Finds Pendlebury just inside the 50.
7 touches in 5 minutes to play. Swan, he is finding it.
Pendlebury outside the 50 when he starts his run. Will kick from about 45. Johnson bleeding from a cut above that left eye. Unseen by the umpire at this stage, but I don't think he'll be able to hide that. So Pendlebury, aided by his natural left boot, comes around, but always had it offline. And behind, Collingwood take back the lead by that margin.
So Johnson from the ground. Gee, that looks like a boxing cut, doesn't it? Bundini Brown would have to work on that. The second man in Muhammad Ali's corner over the years. So Pendlebury with a couple of behinds, but Lee saying 7 for Swan in 5 minutes. Pendlebury's also got going too, hasn't he?
Yeah, the game in the first quarter bounced from end to end. It's just sort of tightened up a little bit in this early stages. Both sides are having trouble moving it easily out of their back 50.
They had 81 between them against the Eagles, those two. It's a good-looking kick, but Lewis had it punched away. Mitchell's hands were brilliant. Osborne running, gets it back from Shields, still running. Clever kick, actually. Rioli, bang! Still all square. They are playing such a high-risk game, Hawthorn, aren't they?
Well, they're prepared to go down the middle a little bit. I mean, not going right boundary side, and they've taken some risk, but at least when they get the ball forward, it's coming out of the centre of the ground.
Wellingham spilt the mark. Lewis goes to ground. Smith onto the loose ball, jabs it inside the forward 50. Rioli's away, spots a man, and uses the ball brilliantly. Whitecross has taken the mark, 20 metres out.
What they're doing really well is they're playing one-on-one. So Whitecross, for instance, is playing on Leon Davis. So they can bring the ball through the middle of the ground because they're playing directly on their opponents, and therefore when they're attacking, they can drag their Collingwood players out with them. And if you see, here's a turnover here. Rioli gets the ball here, and Whitecross is the player who's playing a job on Davis, then becomes the initiator as the forward.
Whitecross misses.
Gee, they look dangerous when Hawthorn, obviously when Franklin's getting involved in the game, which he's not tonight much at this point, but when Rioli gets ball forward half, something normally happens.
He's had it 8 times, Lee Rioli, so they're good numbers for him halfway through a second quarter. 20 disposals last week. The first time he's had 26 round 13. So here's Davis. Such a beautiful kick. Well done, Lewis. He's been good, Lewis, hasn't he? So combative, Lewis, to another combative player in Saul. So Saul sets it up. Franklin at the back, works to the front brilliantly.
Just need to convert now, the Hawks.
Well, that was one time, I don't know where Reid got to, but that ended up being the genuine one-on-one contest. Like, the ball hung in the air, but the only 2 people involved under the footy were Tarrant and Franklin. There was no Collingwood defender that was actually getting over there to help. That's really good forward play. Tarrant did everything right, but he's just too strong, too tall.
They've had 4 set shots, Hawthorn, and haven't kicked a goal. They have now. The champs on the board. You'd love to bottle this 5 minutes if you're Hawthorn, wouldn't you? I mean, because all the right guys, Lee, are getting involved, aren't
they? Exactly, yeah. Rioli set up the previous shot to Whitecross, and then, of course, that's just a genuine contested mark, 15 metres out from goal.
Just have a look at this mark here. Fantastic mark from Buddy Franklin. But watch White cross here. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's keeping Maxwell away from the contest and creates the one-on-one.
That's why there was no Collingwood defender there. The Hawthorn players protected him.
Good pick-up, guys. Wide of the pack. Swan again. Drives it inside the forward 50. Cloak had it knocked away. Comes to Cloak again. Jams it on the boot. Brown almost a half chance. Dawes looking for people streaming past. They were there, but of both colours. Opportunity for Schoenmakers at close quarters. Stratton's got it now. Smith to the outer side. Hawthorn looking terrific at the moment. Hale has got better the longer this has gone. Feeds it back. Birchall just lobs it over the top. Huopolo came to the football. They take off again. Bateman, terrible kick though. Must be a free kick to the skipper of Collingwood, Maxwell.
Come back around.
Have to have so much admiration for Hawthorn and the way they're going about this. Here's Davis. Out against the boundary line. And this ball, that was a perfect kick onto the chest of Cloak. A long way up the ground. He's on the wing. Hawthorn by 7. Midway through the turn, Cloak goes for distance. Inside the forward 50. Big pack, fisted away by Murphy. Wellingham had it a long time, tried to get it again. Burgoyne. Beams went to ground. Smith stood up. Dawes saw to that, put him down, and the umpire will bounce it.
Standing up well, the Hawthorn defence. They've been a bit vulnerable in the one-on-one contest in there, but tonight they're looking pretty solid.
And Jolly getting down to test them even further on a number of occasions. Bailey, good tap down. Hodge spirals the ball. Good defensive kick. Bounce favours Puopolo. Now he's held up in the tackle. Geez, like a rubber ball, Puopolo. Now Franklin. A little bit of time and space down the line. Maxwell, good mark. Wasn't a great kick by Buddy. Maxwell, well played. To Davis. Maxwell put down behind play.
Yours. Free kick.
So,
Collingwood.
silly stuff by the Hawks. So Wellingham, careful kick. Wants the high fly. Close. The #1 contested marker in the season, just displaying his wares there.
Gee, what the big contested one-on-one mark by Franklin down the other end, and that is the big contested pack mark by Cloak. He's so strong in the air. There's a lot of hands, a lot of bodies. Again, Gibson jumping, but strong mark.
He's 5 weeks younger than Buddy, Cloak. I mean, both 24 years of age. You feel like they're both at the prime of their careers, don't you? Both All-Australian forwards, the 2 key forwards in the All-Australian team. And Cloak, an absolute spray to the pocket. Buddy can do those, though, by the way.
It'd be nice to have them both in the same forward line. You hold your breath when they have a shot.
Well, there's no doubt I think they've been the 2 big forwards of the year. Cloak more the centre forward, Franklin maybe more the full forward, but both been really good.
Hawthorn with their biggest lead of the game, some holding on, and there's going to be a free kick to the Hawks. Bailey will take it against Brown. Umpire's being tested now. Terrific by Hawthorn. Hodge to Burgoyne, still inside the defensive 50. Burgoyne told to play on. Brown comes to him. Bailey got in there, did some good work. Burgoyne goes short to Mitchell. Mitchell across half back. 24 play 17. Mitchell jams it to Sewell. Defensive side of the right centre wing. Kicks it beyond the wing now. Lewis in best position. He likes that manoeuvre. Fisted away there by Shaw. Lewis onto the crumb. Quick hands. Hodge kept it going. Comes back to Wellingham. Hand passes to Sidebottom. Gives it across to Pendlebury. Back come the Magpies. Plenty of Hawks in the vicinity. Down goes Gibson. Working behind Schoenmakers. Goes with the right boot and comes to Bailey. This defence is meeting every challenge at the moment. Short one, dropped by Mitchell, tackled by Pendlebury, gets his way loose, well done. Little 1-2 with Bailey, under pressure, kicks it into Blair, trying to slap it out of there was Bailey. Blair and Bailey battle after the football. Pendlebury fell down, Sewell goes in, taken front on by Blair. Over the top is Brown, and we'll have a bounce.
This is just a great structural battle at the moment. You've got Gibson down this end for Hawthorn. You've got Maxwell playing the same role. At the end of the day, there's plenty of contested footy. Just an outstanding prelim final.
Third man up, Hodge.
That's worked well for him too.
Mitchell, he's had a couple of smothers against him, Mitchell. A couple of the kicks have been too short, and that handball wins the free. Richo, you're right in front of him.
Yeah, Hawthorn have got control of this game at the moment. They're controlling the tempo. They're taking a lot away from Collingwood. They've had double the marks. They've really got control doing this sort of stuff here. Collingwood don't like this.
And to back you up, Richo, it's 29 minutes since a Collingwood goal. So almost a quarter of footy since they've scored a goal. And that wouldn't have happened too often this season. Davis clever. Cloaked the target. Those big hands. Well played, Mitchell. White cross. But he had a short one in Bateman. He decided to bang it forward. Puopolo made the contest. Gee, Smith was good there.
Preliminary finals, just great games because Collingwood have known they've qualified all the time. This is the only game that's mattered for them all year, where the result actually matters.
4 years ago, Geelong were in the same boat as Collingwood coming in, weren't they?
Yep.
When you scraped home against the Pies in that epic. And right now, this is feeling a little bit similar.
Sewell under pressure, maybe touched off the boot. It was ricochets to Wellingham, at close quarters to Pendlebury, kept his cool. Johnson gave it to Blair, to Cracker, missed the target. Sewell came hard on Johnson. He gathers the footy, bounces off one would-be tackler, kicks it down towards half forward. Reach came from Hale, slapped back in by Hawthorn, well worked. Hale fumble, shields the man who slapped it in a place, a tackle in the opposite direction. O'Brien. It was like, what was it like? They took a big swing at it, no one touched it. It was like volleyball. That'll do. Ball comes out to Ball. Ball goes down towards half forward, going back with courage. Cloak over the top. The mark was taken by Stratton, gave it to Lewis. Short one comes into Rioli. Lays it off to Birchall. Runners everywhere for Hawthorn. Through the middle, Rioli. Long kick down towards full forward. Down there is Franklin, knocked away by Tarrant. Franklin's got it, kicks a goal. Hawthorn stretched the lead. He could be president for another week.
Richo absolutely nailed on the head. Hawthorn just controlling the tempo of the game at the moment. 160 possessions to 131. There's Joffa, not quite unveiling the jacket just yet, but it's the controlling of the marks. 51 to 28. So just genuine tempo play. The structures are there. Hawthorn predominantly playing a one-on-one game, and they've just causing the Collingwood players to go directly to them, and they can create space through the middle of the ground, which is how Rioli got on the end of it. Get the ball deep inside their 50. Just see, here's the contest here between Tarrant and Franklin. It's a deep entry again. It's right into sort of 15. Osborne hits it hard, and Buddy just his core strength, and Jeff enjoyed it. Felicity enjoyed it. The Hawks are up and about.
So more than half an hour since the Collingwood goal. They need their team to stand up now. Thomas to Pendlebury. Well played by Gibson. Murphy went to ground. Has it stripped almost by Swan. Ball up. So Franklin's gone to the bench. So he plays 94% of game time. He's after his second goal, having a spell.
Just 2 one-on-one contests for 2 goals and a low-scoring game. They're really valuable, aren't they? 2 for Franklin.
Yep, for sure. Burgoyne clever. Murphy. Mitchell and Shaw, and then Lewis. This is where Hawthorn have been good so far. Rioli, good vision, released. White cross, needs to kick in a hurry, belts it forward. This will be interesting. Davis, well played. Puopolo, Reid didn't move well, Reid there, and he's a bit proppy on the up, but Collingwood release it okay. But we're not seeing Collingwood charging out of halfback, are we?
Well, I can't get it. Thomas hasn't got involved much. Swan's getting the footy, but he's not getting it in space where he can really run and create. Just at the moment, the Collingwood leg speed is just not there.
Cloak's in good nick, but he's getting a fair bit of ball on centre wing.
Drives it long down towards half forward. Again, plenty of Hawks. Brown juggled attempt at the mark. Keeps it alive. Across towards Pendlebury. He's taken high, was he? No? Yes. He's getting the free kick. Pendlebury plays on immediately. In front, Stratton got a fist on it. Well done, young man. Hale in desperate trouble. Take it across the boundary line. Tim?
I've been watching Reid since he came back onto the ground. He really is proper. He hasn't been able to stretch out properly. I reckon they've said to him, OK, get out there. If you blow it, you blow it. Either way, if you sit the rest of the game out on the bench, we can't play you anyway next week.
Scrambled out of the pack by Hawthorn. Cloak in the road, though. Tuvey, a former forward. That was with Claremont a long time ago, judging by that kick. Burgoyne comes up towards the wing. White crosses away, looks back over his shoulder. Now he kicks down towards half forward, turns the defence around. Collingwood well represented. O'Brien ahead of Davis. O'Brien takes off, bouncing around the outer side, does a U-turn, comes back to Davis. Like sonar between bats. Short one to the pocket, and the mark is taken there by Shaw.
Good kick to Thomas. See, they're working hard, the Pies here.
And they'll have to, because it's one-on-one. If you look on the screen, they're one-on-one everywhere. Really disciplined defensive effort by the Hawks at the moment.
So Thomas, scraggy old kick, wanting the line. Stratton, who's held up well. He's played the two of the last three, missed 18 matches with the knee. Franklin Birchall both about to come back.
Whitecross comes off. He's played a pretty solid first half also.
Well, their defensive forward structures held up very well. Cracker got down low, probably should have got the free. Ball clever. Wellingham gets it back. Johnson with the left, gets a bit of arc on it. And then Beams just couldn't get the run at it. Cloak was there, Beams held up. Showing makers. Mitchell very good in close. Bateman was the third man in. Tuvey, it was a free kick, advantage paid. Tuvey to Jolly, free kick.
Darren Jolly.
That's the way I think it.
Just watch you grab me early.
Okay.
Puts my arm in there.
Okay. Yeah, what I seen was pretty. Yeah, okay.
I had him. I know that.
Well, I'll look both ways. Just here, mate. Perfect. Darren, this is the mark. David Hale must go 5 metres. Must go.
We see probably at the top of screen. We just see just the arms around. That's the umpire's cue that the defender behind is actually. I'm not sure what Josh Gibson was talking about.
So more than half an hour since a Collingwood goal, and Jolly has been pretty good. Gets it.
It was interesting that negotiation between Gibson and the umpire. I don't know what Gibson's part of the story was, but I don't think it looked so vindicated on the replay.
Maybe it's an investment in the future, Lee, for the next one that comes up.
Might be.
That releases some tension for Collingwood, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a good game. You know, 3 goals to 4 goals. Well, tough to score.
Well, for 35 minutes there, Collingwood's forward line looked like one of those circular firing squads, but eventually a free kick got them out of the hole. It wasn't functioning too well. Knocked down by Jolly. Hand pass from Mitchell. Hawks come away. Hodge has been quiet inside the forward 50. Picked up nicely. Maxwell feeds it off to Shaw. Shaw goes to the wing. Taken by Sidebottom. Still enough time for Collingwood to lead at the major break. It's been a game of spurts. Here's Shaw. Just forward of the wing. Kicks into the man on the mark, if you don't mind. It ricochets down towards half forward. Blair brilliantly done. Wheels around, centering kick. Upwards doors, falls behind. Bailey got a deflection across towards Gibson. Little 1-2 there involving Stratton, Mitchell, and now Guerra forced to take a risk, but did it very nicely. Kept his head, gave it to Shields, across to Gibson. Now Hale. Lewis is through. Inside the centre square again, it's one-on-one. Tarrant did pretty well in that situation. Knocked it away from Franklin. Great shepherd by O'Brien. Releases this man Davis. Davis runs to the wing and wastes the football onto the chest of Rioli.
He's had a good first half, Rioli. Dangerous kick. Free kick to Lewis. Now where's Buddy? So Lewis, the switch up to Birchall, who'll come inside. You knew that was going to happen. He could go all the way, Birchall. He's a long thumping kick. It's to the goal square. Hale tries to bring it down with Reed. And a behind.
Yes, you asked where Franklin was. He was resting out the other side after chasing Davis out for about 50 metres.
He'd also got on his bike, Lee, just before that. When, well, coming forward, he raced back towards the goal square, but they were held up. Jolly's been good, hasn't he? Back he goes to Davis. So much of the ball, Davis.
He's running at 59% with his kicking efficiency, Davis.
Yeah. Been a lot of sideways stuff too. He hasn't been able to just run and carry and just penetrate with those long kicks forward.
And that's full credit to the Hawthorn structures tonight.
Yeah.
So Collingwood just buying some time here. not panicking. Jolly, Cloak the go. Birchall, Stratton, they both went for the same ball and Cloak took a beauty. So Collingwood trail by 8 points. Dennis said a real chance to at least close it, if not get to the lead. Blair held up, showing makers. Gibson. Then Gibson, left footer. Good one. Smith's got to be careful. Threw it out to Burgoyne, back to Smith.
Shields now at centre-half back. I'd like to be a fly on the wall at half-time listening to Mick. Up goes Jolly. Knocks it down in front. Fuopolo ran into a dead end. Cloak knocks it wide of the pack. Brilliantly done, Rioli. Releases Burgoyne. Kick inside the forward 50. Tarrant is standing up well down there. Slick hand pass. Reed tracks it towards the boundary. Has some time. Loops it over the top. Tooby had to wait. Was slick then, did nicely. Pendlebury back inside. O'Brien takes off. Hand passes. Nicely done ball. Made himself available for side bottom. Short one comes to Blair. Blair's on the wing. On the lead is Cracker. He's been quiet. He's marked about 65 metres out. Well, he kicked straight into a man standing 10 metres away. Little 1-2 between Bailey and Birchall.
Didn't change his switch. No, it's half time.
Gee whiz, I was not even watching the clock. I was engrossed in the game.
You don't know where the siren is, Dennis. No one's hearing it, I don't think.
No, didn't hear it at all. 4-7-3-5. Hawthorn then lead. And they've been terrific in that term. Lance Franklin's booted a couple. And Collingwood, with so much to think about here, and their fans may be thinking the unthinkable. Here's Richo.
Well, Maxie, the intensity's huge out there. Where's this game at?
I think we're probably just playing their hands a little bit. They're using the ball a bit better going forward, and too many fast plays where we seem to be just bombing it down the line, so making it hard for our forwards.
What do you got to mix up at half-time?
I think we just got to be less predictable in the forward line.
Thank you.
Yes, mate.
So half-time in the first preliminary final. Winner goes to the grand final, and Hawthorn making an upset is brewing. They lead 31-23. Back with more. Bruce shortly. There's the bounce in the middle. You wonder how Collingwood fans would react to a loss. Falling to the ground, Jolly. Mitchell on his knees. Pendlebury at the base of all of that. He hasn't got the pressure. I mean, he has pressure, but certainly nothing like in the box alongside. Jolly hooks up again with Bailey. Lewis loves being third man up. It falls to Swan. The hurried kick floats down towards half forward. Well played by Cracker. Knocked it forward. Burgoyne's in the road though. Comes across half back. Tracking at Birchall. Can't control it, at least initially. Now he does. Gets past Thomas. Well done. Kicks up towards the wing. Fuopolo. Outnumbered. Swan gets back. Bit of a fumble by Swan. In trouble. Directed the hand pass okay. Kick from Shaw. Floats it down towards half forward. All Hawks. Blair stayed on the ground. The ball evaded him, at least initially. He grabs it. Slings a hand pass out wide. Maxwell, bit tentative. Kicks inside the forward 50. Falling to the ground. Cracker. Sewell the pickup.
Releases Mitchell. Still in heavy traffic. And bang the ball. Sean Makers and Hawthorn with Lewis. Looks up. Careful kick to Osborne. First goal big here, we reckon, don't you? So Osborne waits. Shields on his bike. Puopolo got it. Good mark. He kept his eye on the ball with heavy traffic in front of him, didn't he?
I tell you what, early days, I reckon both sides have said to their teams it was very much a high handball first half. Don't be afraid to get territory and kick the ball into your forward line, give your forwards a chance. Quickly, I think there's just been a little bit more of that approach even in this first few minutes.
So Puopolo short and Hodges on the end of it.
Clever kick there from Puopolo. He had a look at the eyes. There's Nick Maxwell looking at his teammates. So well structured, just Luke Hodge able to find a hole there. We've seen Hawthorn now actually attack deep but to the pockets. They obviously don't want to turn the ball over.
Was Heath sure he was looking at Maxwell?
And I reckon they've had plenty of those conversations on the field before.
So Hodge has been kicking goals in the finals.
We have a look at the bit of space that just didn't get covered.
Right where the umpire was.
Kicked 2 in the losing match against the Cats. Kicked 1 last week. He's had a big final series. Quite his first half. And the skipper's missed. Let's go down to boundary level, Richo.
Yeah, the start of this quarter, Lance Franklin has taken Chris Tarrant up into the traffic around the midfield. I like that. When he gets the ball and runs towards goal, Tarrant has to stay goal side of him.
Hawthorn 1-5 from set shots tonight. Davis to himself and then drives it outside the defensive 50. And Thomas up, no one with him, missed the ball completely, taken by Pendlebury. Fumble from O'Brien, slapped out of there Burgoyne. Well tackled by Thomas. O'Brien there on the tackle as well. Now Mitchell under pressure. Sends it down towards the pocket. And the mark is taken by Hodge. Wheels around. Goes back to the corridor. And Guerra. And things are suddenly coming unglued for the Magpies.
Just some fumbly ball there across the 50-metre arc. Sean Burgoyne was he's playing a really important game for the Hawks, setting up as their loose man. Here's the turnover here and the kick. I mean, pinpoint accuracy, a little bit of luck involved, but it's the fumble. They're just not looking as sure as they have all year, Collingwood.
So Guerra, normally a reliable kick, directly in front. Kick is on the way, trying to work it back, and he's got the goal. Look out.
Really high-pressure game. Neither Collingwood certainly haven't been able to get in the groove, and Hawthorn playing it on their terms at the moment.
Winning the key contest, haven't they?
Yeah. And just look sure, Lee. I reckon they look sure with ball in hand, in around the contest. Looking a little bit fumbled. Hawks up and about.
Precision used deep in, and it partly came because when Collingwood kicked the ball out, Dale Thomas jumped third up and mistimed it completely.
Reece Shaw again there, found out.
Collingwood led by 8 points deep into the first term, and now the Hawks have got the big lead of the match. Swan just got a kick away, but Hawthorn have been able to tackle hard. Birchall. Saul releases Bateman off a step. Gets to half forward. Well done, Bailey. Franklin just went without it. Held up Bateman. Hands and knees. He's got to get it out, Bateman. He's trying. I think he's gone. No. It'll be a ball up.
Lost possession. He lost possession of it. Wasn't tackled.
So Collingwood
wasn't tackled.
One goal in about 40 minutes of footy here.
That's the interesting one there. 79 to 72 contested possession. Hawks really matching the Pies who've dominated that all year.
Gee, brilliant. Lewis and Hodge combining, banging to full forward. Rioli versus O'Brien. Rioli tries a little bit of magic he was held on to. He should get a free.
Look at holding the ball
here. He does get the free now. I think they all stopped.
Maxwell just stopped as if it was a free kick, and there was no free kick.
Where's he? Sure.
And Maxwell just caught by Rioli.
What Collingwood need to do here is play one-on-one, win these contests here. There, Nick Maxwell just...
He looked like he just submitted as if he'd heard a whistle. Maybe he thought it should have been a free kick in that instant. The umpire didn't, but Nick Maxwell did.
Structure's just breaking down.
So Mitchell, 40 metres out, tightish angle, good kick. Hawthorn making a charge to the GF. They might be on their way now.
To say this is a test for the reigning premiers is a genuine understatement.
It's a nice little break, 21 points early in the third quarter. Now Collingwood have got to do the work, and I think if you've spoken about a lot of the night time, that composure when all of a sudden the script's not going the way we thought it might have going to be for the majority of the night.
Well, I guess it's one of those situations when you're so well structured, you play zones, you play all these sorts of things in the game. It's been one-on-one. It's been played on Hawthorn's turns.
Bit of magic here from Cyril. Nick Maxwell is probably waiting for the whistle. Then he's got banged. But it's just all Hawthorn this quarter. They have got all the ball control. Collingwood have not taken a mark. They're operating at 60% efficiency. The Hawks' pressure is continuing in this third quarter.
Jolly decisive. Down is Swan. Swan penetrating kick. Down towards full forward. Gibson dropping back. Contest came from Dawes. In trouble there. Schoenmakers. Tackled by Brown. Ball up about 15 metres out. Inside 50s. Have swung now 34 to 28 Hawthorn. That look says it all. Who would have thought this? Hodge slaps it down. White cross under pressure. That's holding the ball. Well done, Thomas. He's played on Pendlebury. Why? That's because he saw Dawes on the lead. Maybe.
Yes, all's well and ends well for Collingwood, but I think the taking the advantage wasn't probably the advantage compared to a set shot from 30 metres out.
So Dawes directly in front, going at his second. Collingwood's fourth. The lead out to 21 currently. This to pull it back to 15. My word, they needed that. He's got two.
Centre clearance there from Dane Swan, burst out, got some speed onto the game for the Pies and got the ball deep inside their forward 50. That's what they'll need. That momentum in the game is certainly with Hawthorn at the moment, but they do have that midfield power. That midfield power is through Swan, Ball, Pendlebury to get the ball going for. They've got Jolly in there now. Actually looking out there, this is their A grade. That's the intensity. Whitecross has played a really important game. He's done some defensive jobs on Liam Davis. But Dawes getting in front here. We look at the Collingwood centre square now. They've got their big guns in there. They've got Jolly, they've got Pendlebury, they've got Ball, and they've got Swan.
Pendlebury hasn't been paid advantage all year, has he? We saw him in that famous finish against Geelong. Ball getting the clearance. Burgoyne deciding to load up. He had nowhere ready to go. Now Franklin in a running race. The bounce of the ball important. Franklin maybe held on to, did really well, buddy. Get to Shields. Shields on the left. Puopolo free kick. So Davis gives another free kick away.
He's done well, Puopolo. He's not trying to outread Davis.
As he went to lead, just grabbed him by the left arm.
He's engaging Davis's body and then making a last ditch. You see him back in the top of the screen there. All he's doing is pushing back against Davis. And then when he decided to go, Davis just grappled for the free.
Kicked 3 goals in the first half last week. And he's missed.
Oh.
So from set shots tonight, Hawthorn have had so many opportunities, and Puopolo missing there. We saw Hodge miss earlier in this quarter. Mitchell did score from the set. And that was a wonderful opportunity to really style a mark. So kick by Davis is a good one. Taken by Swan.
Coming up for his 19th possession, Dane Swan. And short to Reid. Puopolo, a star in the SANFL Grand Final last year with Norwood. Nathan Bassett's team. Under pressure, O'Brien squeezes the kick away, finds Thomas. Could go back-to-back in different states for Puopolo, the way things are looking at the moment. But he would have loved to have kicked that goal. Johnson, big leap, Wellingham off his hands. Falls to Dawes, takes an eternity to pick it up. Went back looking for Tuvey. Schoenmakers knocks it towards the boundary. Bateman pushed across that boundary. Johnson takes the ball across. So boundary throw-in just forward of right centre wing. Magpies marginally on the attack. Well, how do you call that? And right at the improv, it falls behind, spills across eventually to Guerra, the high ball. They come from all directions. Only 2 really came at the footy. Franklin, the first of them, followed by Tarrant. Johnson gave it to Tarrant along the line towards Wellingham from Pendlebury, and it ricochets out of bounds.
It's been impressive. They're third up in a lot of the ruck contests, Hawthorn. Sometimes Lewis, sometimes Hodge, and just getting the ball clear of the inner congestion.
Brown hasn't had a kick tonight. Swan trying to impose himself. Birchall caught up by Blair. Well done, Bull. Hacks it out. Stratton, brilliant tackle, Dawes. Now Swan, running hard, the bounce. Sockers off the ground. Gibson sees a cavalry coming at him. Keeps his head. Played it well. Smith started well. Shields. The advantage down the ground. Puopolo again a free kick, surely. Not that time. Smith Released. I reckon a bit stiff there, Hawthorn. Tuvey hacks it forward. Collingwood might make them pay. Side bottom gets it from Dawes. Good kick to Thomas. He protected the foot. He didn't take the mark in the end. Topo good. Mitchell on the up. Hawthorn in heavy traffic. Hodge loves it in heavy traffic. Gets it to Birchall. To Schoenmakers. To Bailey. Oh, they're good tonight.
Bailey between half-back and centre wing. And the crowd sensing the urgency and the importance of that ball. Free kick in front goes to Maxwell.
Well played, Nick Maxwell. Had the taller opponent just pushed back, drew the free kick.
Maxwell beyond the wing. Willingham called out of it by Cloak. Cloak was up, hands to it, couldn't hang on, it's out of bounds.
Just the game is just starting to open up as it normally does when you get into second half. So there's a bit of space. It's now a question of which team can run and use that space to their advantage.
Boundary throw in, Bailey and Jolly. Jolly wins it down, off hands taken by Sewell, slaps it forward. Johnson's got it, releases Tuvey, diving in was Birchall. Ball spills across towards Pendlebury. They come from all directions, ball up.
And just to pick up on Lee's point, if you look at the two subs, obviously we've spoken about Didak for Collingwood, but Suckling is a really elite ball user for the Hawks.
Bounce on the line of the square. Jolly intended for ball. Hodge to Mitchell. Rubs it in close. Kicks it down towards half forward. Rioli. Deft touch. Osborne sends it long. The kick does not favour Fuopolo. Battle of strength. Gets boot to ball. Leading back in the race is Shaw. Desperation Fuopolo. Soccer from Shaw. Chopped off by Hale. Hand passes to the little guy. Hand passes back towards Smith. Tackled by Shaw. Down he goes. Ball up. 20 metres out from goal. Wonderful pressure by the diminutive Fuopolo.
Great play also by Heath Shaw. He forced the contest with Fuopolo and then actually won the ball back by laying the tackle. Terrific defensive play.
That's his end of the ground, Tom, in finals. Think of Nick Revolt. Tim, Didak, do you reckon he's getting close or not?
Well, I reckon it's about time they activated him. He's a really talented player. Beams has had just 2 touches tonight, so he's been an ineffectual player. I'd get him on right now.
Hale and Jolly. Bailey, the third man up. Reid, who's also had that query on him. Saul was good. Burgoyne breaks the tackle and just misses.
Geez, that was reminiscent of his Port Adelaide days there, Sean Boy, going tight in the pocket.
Strong in close, Hawthorn, haven't they? Really strong in those clearance congested situations.
16 shots to 9, Lee, Hawthorn.
Yeah, a lot of scrappy ones, but certainly there's been the Fuopolo one before. There are a couple that they've missed. Hodge before. They've had some gibbies as well.
Well, who would have thought? Saw Michael Malthouse moments ago. Now, these days he's in love with the press. He's going to live or die by the press tonight. Spills wide, picked up by Pendlebury. Hand pass comes from Thomas and goes out of bounds.
He hasn't played for a couple of weeks, Thomas. He looks like he hasn't played for 6 months. It's amazing how he just has had trouble getting into the rhythm of the game.
Jolly and Hale. Hale reaches over the top. Laid it down, intended for Sewell. Stratton falling to the ground. Aguirre. Sewell arches the back, slides away, kicks inside. The forward 50 will almost, about 5 metres out. It's knocked towards the boundary. Another boundary throw in. 46 plays 29. The underdogs on top, and that box is under pressure.
So Jolly, great opening half. Swan, another clearance, only as far as Stratton. Quickly to Gibson. Schoenmakers. Had a nervy start, Schoenmakers, but the back line has been very, very good. Now, Birchall couldn't get all the way to his intended target. They put him under the pump, but he weaves around. Not a good kick.
Had to go to Bateman early. Bateman was the one across half forward.
And the players ahead of him had to read the pressure he was under and be able to push to the front position, because he just eventually just had to get out of the pressure.
Instead of 60 metres away, they should have been 40.
Yeah, that's right. They've got to know your teammates under pressure. Come into the space towards him.
Good kick. Shaw, now Blair's got some space. Cloak the go-to man. This will test him, and Gibson. Brilliant. Cloak. Goal.
Interesting there by the Pies. Not the typical boundary attack pattern they saw, and went in through the middle of the ground. It was Blair who got the gaping hole. I think the gaping hole was there because Hawthorn didn't expect Collingwood to actually channel it through the middle of the ground.
I think the Collingwood, as they've been attacking it wide around the boundary, they just haven't been able to get any momentum through there tonight, so they might have to go back in the middle a bit. It's a decision, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just the courageous ball used by Collingwood. Heath Shaw was to get it to Blair. Typical Collingwood players to chip round the boundary, but Hawthorn haven't allowed that free kick in. By doing so, opened up the middle of the ground and different avenue to goal for the Pies.
Rucks go at it. Spills wide. Swan feeds it forward. Johnson kicks towards half forward. Standing tall Stratton. Hawthorn's biggest lead, 21 points. Now back to 11. Last 2 goals for the Magpies. Guerra looks inside. Hodge coming up for his 14th possession. Uses it effectively. Burgoyne goes across the ground, hangs a long time in the air. Murphy gets a free kick. Plays on. Birchall on the overlap. Little chip up towards the wing. Looking inside Hale. Then he swings it wide. Nobody near Shields. Shields runs to 50. Couple of bounces. Kicks under pressure. That pressure was goal-saving perhaps. It affected certainly the flight of the ball. Lunging at him was Maxwell. Just touching the body, but I'd venture to say that was enough. Ball does well.
Terrific mark by Ball. Collingwood with the last 2 goals. Cloak and Dawes now 4 of the 5 between them. Down the line, Cloak just gets rid of Schoenmakers. Starting to impose himself, Cloak. Brown's had a quiet one. Well done, Stratton. Guerra. Gibson had nowhere to go. Boundary throw in. Tim?
Just get the feeling down here at ground level. The crowd is right into this game, particularly the Collingwood fans have been chanting. I reckon in the last couple of minutes, Collingwood have just lifted the tempo of this game.
And they've got it back from 21 to 10. Hale tries to drop it down to Mitchell. Saul. White cross. Ambitious handball. Swan. Back to White cross. Good mark.
Yeah. He had to take that. He's coming back with a flight, but he was in trouble if he didn't take that.
So Tarrant to Maxwell to Pendlebury. Little smother. O'Brien, now he knows they're coming. He's gone, you would think. Smith's handball awful. Rioli will kick it. That is delicious.
Just nervy footy, bringing it back.
Goals are hard to set up, so basically it's not giving goals away by just errors in defence, which is basically what happened then. Fantastic forward pressure by Hawthorn, but when the ball didn't go into O'Brien's hands, they were in trouble.
Really challenging for Collingwood at the moment. Even a couple of players ago, Luke Ball had the ball across half-back and looked inside. They're definitely trying to do some different things. Tarrant took his first mark for the game and they've tried to clear the ball to Harry O'Brien, but that's not their go. If they switch the ball, typically it's from one side right across to the other side, not at centre half back where that turnover was, because that's the end result. And there was Jordan Lewis also. That's not insignificant, the in-your-face to Harry O'Brien, and he's at it again.
It's not often that Rioli affected the smother that affected the kick, but then he kicked the goal. He got the reward for his own smother.
2 losses all season for Collingwood. Now confronted with the prospect of 2 losses in their last 3 games. Smith under pressure. Still, there's plenty of fight on the Magpies. Cracker, who's been quiet. Not a good kick. Mitchell jabs it down towards half forward. Brilliantly taken on the half volley by Bateman. Centering kick. O'Brien got a defiant fist in there. Cracker picks up the footy. Sends it back towards the wing. Cloak is outnumbered. Fought the honourable fight, got a fist to it. Burgoyne, though, got the crumb. Back inside the centre square. Sewell beats a would-be tackler, goes looking for Franklin. Couldn't hang on. Kent in front, Hodge. Vacant goal square. Long kick and he misses by a metre. Just a metre, Bruce.
Drew 3 there, Franklin, and 3 Collingwood defenders went to Franklin and left the numbers down, which was Luke Hodge at his feet.
He was good, buddy, wasn't he? I mean, because he actually spoiled the ball down to Hodge, didn't he?
Had the flat palms. Brought the ball down.
So Hawthorn have responded, haven't they, to the 2 goals?
This has really been good. The lock-in. They just haven't allowed Collingwood out of that part of the ground with any quickness, any speed.
Collingwood have done very well in the centre clearances in this quarter. It's got him back. Swan's been part of it. Suckling warming up on the sidelines. Still no Didak. Here's Reid. It's a poor kick. Tarrant had to wait for Tuvi. Chipuopolo's a competitor. Tuvi wraps him up. Ball up.
It's dangerous when you go to your knees like that.
Wrap it up straight away.
Heard the explanation.
Here we go,
Went over onto his back. That probably saved him from the holding the ball.
So Thomas was the sort of third man up. Jolly searching. Did well, Jolly. Belted it out. And then Maxwell off the side. Big contest. Davis, who might be in the forward half. Birchall, Saul. They flip it to Schoenmakers, to Gibson. Now Gibson sizes it up. That's not a good kick.
Poor kick there.
Picked out Pendlebury.
Pendlebury wheels around. What a beautiful kick. Will it get there in time? Well, Murphy kept coming, but a fist on it knocked it away from Davis.
Great closing speed there by Tom Murphy. He's played a really good game. I think just see there's the intensity that Jordan Lewis plays at. Structured up so much better after their first final, Hawthorn.
Run down by Brown. Bullocking there is Hodge. Umpire calls for it. Richard.
Yeah, Lee just talked about how Hawthorn have been able to lock Collingwood in. Their forward half pressure and turnovers and goals from it is what's got them in front in this game tonight. It's been outstanding. Puopolo's the man there.
Lewis to Sewell. Sewell has been busy in this quarter. Goes across towards Bateman. Pulls it back, but only as far as the wing. O'Brien pumps it back inside. Tall timber down there. Cloak got his hands to it. Crumbed in front by another tall man, Bailey. Full revolution there for Gibson. Came to Schoenmakers, got it from Shields. And now it's with Osborne. Davis has gone forward. Now Smith runs to the logo. Kicks towards the 50. Puopolo down there. And resorting to a spoil over the top was Tuvi. So you would think Davis going forward is a precursor, surely, to getting Didak on the ground.
Well, Mickey kept Fasolo there for a long time a couple of weeks ago, didn't he?
Yeah.
Hodge will be the third up. Collingwood couldn't ill afford a goal here. White cross. Buddy! He couldn't, could he?
Oh, here we go.
Across the face and out on the full. So misses the lot.
Let's talk about Didak, Lee. Who would you substitute off from Collingwood?
Well, I think when Davis is going in the forward line, it is probably Beams. Beams has been the one. You can almost go, who's the medium size that not's finding the ball? And that's basically Beams.
Would you go Brown, Lee Brown?
Well, yeah, but he's the second ruckman member. Who else is going to do the ruck work if Brown's off? So that's the problem there.
Well, Hawthorn, 3 goals in front, late in the third quarter. Didak getting ready, you feel. There's Beams. Just 1 goal in 7 finals coming in, Beams. He's had a terrific back end of the season. Quiet night. Out the back, Thomas. The handball put Johnson under pressure. Wellingham. Down low, did well. Thomas scoots it out. Burgoyne's been terrific.
Yeah, he's been great tonight.
They've just read the Collingwood kick forward, haven't they? So a lot of the pressure's been good.
Gibson to Birchall. Almost 3-quarter time. The lead is 18 points. Low-scoring game. Birchall comes to Schoenmakers. It's been his best game in the final, Schoenmakers. Gibson. Smith on the overlap. Again, the defence under pressure. There's going to be a free kick to Tarrant in front. I'll tell you what, Tarrant's been okay.
Of course, it was more than using your body. Clear it out.
That's Maxwell, I think. Yeah, Maxwell is hurt. Tarrant, particularly in that second term, and he was caught one-on-one a few times, did really well on Franklin. Wellingham kicks towards the wing, stretching in front. It was missed by Ball. Close to the boundary line, Lewis. Strong tackle. Cloak got him down. He's got mustard on him.
He's had a really good third quarter, Jordan Lewis, when Collingwood felt like they were getting a run on, particularly through the centre clearances. He was the one who really stood up.
Third up again.
Yeah, Hodge, he and Lewis have been the 2 guys that have done that all night. Blair rode beautifully, got rid of Mitchell, and then kicks to a dangerous spot. Dawes and Lewis, and also Davis. Dawes, well done. Probably should have had a shot. Davis holding the ball. Great tackle.
They're out here.
So Burgoyne short to Shields.
He's got Bateman out wide.
It was a slow kick now. Can they get the next one? Osborne the target. Got him. Bateman still running hard. Osborne will kick to him now. O'Brien's on his bike. The bounce important. O'Brien keeps his feet. Bateman fell over. Collingwood have a win. Back to Jolly from Maxwell. Jolly off a step. Collingwood do well. Thomas at centre wing. Such an important one-on-one a moment ago. Dangerous kick by Thomas. Good mark though. Taken by Johnson.
Shaw in the middle. It's they keep going wide, Collingwood, which is as their style, but Hawthorn have hemmed them in whenever they've gone wide.
So Johnson's kick. Gibson the third up, never quite got to it. A goal either way here. What a difference. I mean, it's either a 4-goal game or a 2-goal game.
And interestingly, Dane Swan has taken Birchall right to the square for Collingwood, trying to isolate him one out.
He's looking like Collingwood's weapon, Swan, isn't he? When he gets space, that's when they look dangerous.
Jolly did well. Pendlebury to full forward, bouncing it and behind. So Hawthorn with a chance to set up with a half a minute remaining. How careful would they be here?
Just need to be really poised. Just take this one. No need to play on.
So Hodge eats a little bit of time. Sean Makers now. Hodge is telling him to kick it long. And that clock vital right now. Hale. He's been the better of the second ruckman tonight. If you compare Hale versus Brown.
Yeah, Brown hasn't been involved in the game much at all. Hale's at least been dangerous. He's been that alternate forward for Hawthorn.
So Hawthorn have increased their lead in each of the quarters. Thomas, short to ball. Well, the Prez thinks he's got another week. He might be right. The champions are being challenged. And that's what we wanted. This is the perfect scenario, isn't it? The underdog leads by just enough to give them favouritism at three-quarter time. A preliminary final for the ages. It's 36-53 on a big, big Friday night.
Dane Swan had a big third term. There he is. 12 possessions. He's got 26 for the game. Equal game high with Sam Mitchell. Started the final term then. Speak of the devil. Mitchell smothered brilliantly by Thomas. Ball ricochets across towards side bottom. Came to Osborne. He was tackled immediately. Hodge goes in. He's claimed. Ball up.
Just looking at the three-quarter time huddle, Mick Malthouse had the Collingwood players all to himself for the entirety of the break, whereas Hawthorn stuck to their line breaks, which headed up that way. So Mick's certainly in control.
Lewis knocked it only as far as Maxwell. Side bottom. Mitchell went in. Lewis stripped the football. Didak, a hurried kick down towards half forward. Helped on its way there by Bailey. Inside the centre circles Osborne. Lewis out wide. There's a whistle off the ball, and I think it's going against Collingwood. It is. He's sure, I think.
That's a 50. I was wondering if sometimes is that a 50-metre as well as just down the field.
So Bateman's got the footy. You don't know, Lee, and you're on the rules committee. I've got no idea.
I think it was just a free kick downfield.
I think you're right. Tarrant, side bottom, kicks beyond the wing. Davis backing back. A collision there with Hodge. Ball runs free. Schoenmakers trapped it effectively. Knocked out of there by Burgoyne, who's been terrific. Bateman got it from Hodge to Lewis. Schoenmakers, searching kick. Franklin's outnumbered, reaching over the top. Tarrant hitting the ball hard. Rioli flicks it across towards Puopolo. He got a Stevie Milne bounce. Now an opportunity in there for Big Hale. He was dragged down. Goes again, does Hale. Ball up 40 metres out.
And Puopolo, he's been...
There's a he's short free.
It's the 50-metre penalty if you stop the player running on to the next possession. But that wasn't on that occasion.
So Bailey held out of it probably. Jolly. Quick kick by side bottom. Dawes just ricochets away. Guerra got a fist on it. Well done, Saul. Schoenmakers. Full handball. Didak on the up. Pendlebury. He and Swan closing on 30. They'll play a big part in the last quarter. Little waxy again. Pendlebury, good kick. Blair takes off, and he's got Cloak. Well, just the turnover.
Yeah, the Schoenmaker's missed kick. He had the chance, missed the target. And it's almost it's mistakes, and that mistake in disposal to create the turnover is what is creating scoring opportunities.
I guess Suckling's not the right size for Dawes, but I think they might be getting itchy. So Cloak has played a pretty big game. He's kicked 2. Is it coming back? It's not. He's still the main guy, you feel, don't you? I mean, he's got a couple.
Yes, Swan to be able to take the ball into space upfield and Cloak to be on the end of it in the forward 50. That is Collingwood's main chance, one would think.
Saw Jordan Lewis on replay there copping one. One thing we know about him, he'll be back in the action. He's a star. He's proven that in this final round. Kick comes in. Brown was up. Didn't get it forward. He should have. Hodge quickly away. Kick along the boundary line by Murphy. Bounces a couple of metres in. Jolly tries to get it down to Thomas. Close quarters to a standing Shaw. He was dealt with. Hodge. White cross. Sewell has been terrific. Hand passes across to Mitchell. Mitchell goes in short. Leading in the race. Puopolo arches the back, slides away. That's an interesting kick. Rioli tries to flick it back to Puopolo, and eventually Collingwood do well enough. Maxwell, the pressure was enormous from those two little guys. Comes to Thomas. Clever kick over his shoulder. Shaw releases side bottom, sweeping hand pass. Jolly's got it. Measures the kick, goes to Cracker. Side bottom continues his run. 60 metres outside bottom. Long ball. Favours Dawes. Well, it was a game of centimetres at the other end. Not talking about a lack of height. Just a lucky bounce, but they couldn't get it. Hawthorn that was. And Collingwood took it the length of the ground.
Sometimes you've got to take the footy, though. I think that was probably too much of the paddling stuff.
Yeah, I think so. I think Puopolo, he just couldn't quite get the ball off his foot. I think that's fair enough to try and keep the ball in play, but gee, the turnover was costly when it bounced back the other end.
Chris Dawes has booted a couple. Huge kick this one. It's on the way, and it splits the middle.
Yes, as centimetres or inches, Dennis, it was just so close to Puopolo. Just make a little bit better contact. He probably just would about kicked the goal, but when that didn't happen, the ball just bounces back down the other end. Always been a game of inches. They've decided premierships over the decades, always will.
The crowd really starting to get involved in this game, and they can be the 19th man sometime, this Collingwood crowd.
Kicked 3 of the last 4. Last time Dawes kicked 3 goals in a match was round 3. He's got 3 tonight. Collingwood closing and closing hard. Every goal vital. You feel the next one, the biggest of the match so far. Centre clearances. Not sure how many we're going to have, but they are going to be oh so important. Balls kicked to Dawes. Davis. He's a lovely kick. Left foot. Going and going. It's a goal. And Collingwood within a kick.
Yeah, the emotions in the game with Collingwood.
Shields looks like he's got one on it's almost like the hip pointer there. Played in the preliminary final in 2007 against Collingwood. Similar game, a really tight game the whole time. I'll tell you what, this crowd is like another player out there. Absolutely deafening. It's one of the great advantages that the club the size of Collingwood really has in these big games.
Look at this goal line, Shep, but that would be a free kick in any other part of the ground.
Contest, yeah.
But on the goal line, you seem to be able to do anything to shepherd the ball through. There's almost no rules. That proves it.
I think the Beast would have been happy with that armbar. Back in the middle. Knocked down by Jolly. Leon Davis. Shades of Nick Davis right there. Sewell digs it out of the middle. O'Brien has to go back. Big leap came from Puopolo. He's feeling it. The ball goes out of bounds in the pocket. Tarrant suggesting he was trying to force it behind. That's an interesting call down there.
Well, normally if you... Anyway, play on.
It's not black and white, although in that case it was. Hurried kick comes out of defence. Opportunity for Blair. That's holding the football. Free kick to go to Bateman.
Don't know whether Bateman's got the distance from...
Hold there. Yeah, mate.
Got the fat side here, I reckon.
He's going to have to carry it 55 metres.
Kick right where the umpire is, where the space is.
This game has the potential now, and everything we've seen, to rise to great heights, just like Hodge.
Isn't it? The good players just impose themselves on the game when they have to. Hodge's strength of mind to draw the ball to that contest.
And this one, about this distance in at the other end in the third quarter. This is big.
It's Hawthorn's first mark for the quarter, that one. Pretty important one.
I reckon Wellingham wouldn't mind that over again. Hodge. This to at least apply a tourniquet, albeit a temporary one perhaps. Well, that's the kick of the captain. It's the kick of the champion, the All-Australian captain. You name it. Much decorated, important goal.
Yeah, to change the flow. Collingwood kicked 2 quick goals. All of a sudden the crowd's roaring. The adrenaline just floods through the system. So for Hawthorn to turn it around, good tackle. He certainly didn't go to an uncontested position, Tom, that Bateman kick. I mean, that was just almost to a pat.
It was
20 metres to a pat.
Pretty gutsy kick. All the spaces on the other side. It was tailor-made for just sitting up for a tall forward, but cometh the moment, cometh the man, Luke Hodge. Yeah, I think
you often say when you're approaching the zone, drop it on the head of the zone player and let one of your opponents jump on him, which is exactly what happened.
I think Dennis was right. Sherrod Willingham would have enjoyed another crack at that contest.
Hodge again, Lewis. He felt the tackle coming. Bailey. Shaw belts it forward. Hawthorn get a little bit of breathing space. Free kick. Against Wellingham. He hasn't played a lot of footy rate this year, Wellingham. He kicked 3 against the Eagles, which is equal career high. But that type of player tonight, they haven't got a lot out of Collingwood. They saw beams go off.
Suckling's taken the vest off. We're not sure who is coming off yet, but Suckling will be subbed into the game.
Someone like young Shields, you need to probably swap inexperience for inexperience.
Hodge outnumbered. Ball takes a good mark. They came from the same draft, those two guys, 1 and 2. Number 3's a good player too. Didak. Sean Makers indoors. So Collingwood have got 5 goals out of doors and Cloak. That's a good return.
Yeah, they've done it right out of them, but they haven't been able to get it so far out of their mediums coming forward.
They've only had the 40 inside 50s. That's
Hobbling.
Darren Jolly Hobbling, yep. 40 inside 50s. Collingwood, they average 61 all season.
Thomas leads the chase on the boundary line. Daisy Thomas pulls it back. Some separation down there for Dawes. Got up high, side bottom. Had more time than he knew, then less. And it's a free kick to Birchall. That was wonderful. Initially, side bottom surprised by the space he had.
I think they were all up in the air trying to affect the spoil, but Birchall got there to support.
Drives it to the outer side. Bailey helped it on its way. Coming up the ground. Look at Hale. He's been pretty good too. Gave it to Bateman. Now the run down towards half forward of Rioli. Hang on. Rioli taken on by O'Brien. Backs off. Hard against the boundary line. Goes looking for Franklin. Normally that combination spells double trouble. Off the ground by Tarrant. That was cool. Across the goal front. Grabbed there by Maxwell. Just cleared a Hawthorn player. Bounces past a Collingwood player, but not Sewell. Sewell's hand pass. The half volley for Bateman. In goes Pendlebury. He emerges with the ball as Bateman ran into a dead end, holding it. Oh, the quick and the dead right there.
Oh, the endeavours there.
The umpire gave him plenty of time, but I think when he didn't ping him for the over the ball, when he got up with it.
Is when he got up there, you're right. Yep.
So Thomas short to Shaw. Sean Makers, Dawes gets rid of him. Cloak takes uncontested in the end.
1-on-1 here.
Goes bang to full forward. Blair, Guerra caught out. Blair goes early. Guerra hangs down. Free kick. Tim, what have you got for us, mate? Tim?
There's some real drama down here. Jolly's gone to the bench. The medicos are working on what appears to be his groin, but he really limped. And you see they're applying some strapping to the inner part of his thigh. So he's got to be doubtful for the rest of this game.
He missed him.
Terrible handball, but they might get it back. Gee, Lee, you would have been a good coach. That's why they didn't take Lee Brown off. Kick in short. Thomas, missed by Bateman. Pendlebury just had enough to ball. I feel like Collingwood have got to get the next goal. To get to the grand final, this champion team...
Thomas really struggling to come off here too, Bruce.
Yeah.
So, switched by Maxwell. Reid.
I was just watching Maxwell moments ago. He's really labouring too. He was struggling to get back. So maybe some of these players a little underdone. The feeling it, but not this man, the super sub perhaps. Didak on a three-quarter time. That is a beautiful kick. Now Cloak can wheel around. He can kick the goal of the year perhaps for his team. Well, instead he puts it out of bounds on the full.
Dane Swan with his hands up. He's about 30 metres directly out in front by himself.
Jeez.
It's a matter of who can take their chances now. The defensive pressure's dropped off a little bit because players are getting fatigued. Can players think their way through the pressure in those forward surges?
Third up, Lewis.
Lewis, and here is Swan. Deep in the pocket. He's kicked the goal.
Very good.
Hodge at one end, Swan at the other.
Yeah, well, he was the loose man there for a long time when Travis Cloak had the ball about 55 metres out. Had his arms up waving, saying, kick the ball to me, but he's drifted into the stoppage. I mean, he's never going to go unnoticed, but he certainly wasn't picked up around the stoppage and got on his bike, got free. And you just had the feeling if Collingwood were to get up, he was the one. He is the real X factor for them. The other boys battling around him a little bit. Straight back into the centre of the ground. Here's the drive in here. So at this particular point in time, Dane Swan's genuinely clear. That could have been out on the floor, but Dane Swan's come to the stoppage here as a loose man on his bike. Nails the goal.
How good was that? Fatigued under pressure, game on the line, and Swan nails it from deep in the pocket. Sewell got it from Burgoyne, finds a way through, comes looking for Hale, taken high. Now Burgoyne took the advantage, then he threw it with an open hand. Brown applies a second tackle on Smith. We'll see that again. Murphy feeds it forward. Shields has got it, running down towards right half forward, sets it long, going back is Franklin, could have been a hand on the shoulder. Willingham, hand passes to Reid, steady kick comes out. Taken now by side bottom, over the top to Blair, to the run of Cracker. Cracker goes towards half forward, awkward half volley for Cloak, goes back trying to find the footy. Swan is in there, Blair somehow hacked his way through, gives it to Brown. Brown goes down towards the pocket, Schoenmakers, no cape, but he played it brilliantly, just launched himself and knocked it out of bounds. Well, that's
the advantage rule.
That was a throw though, wasn't it?
Yeah. They can get away with that.
Hawthorn's problem at the moment, the ball's coming out of their forward line too quickly. They can't hold on to it and keep it in.
Where they're successful early in the game is having really deep entries at the moment. They're getting really shallow inside 50s and you can rebound far more efficiently.
Richo?
This is where that extra week off for Collingwood might start coming into effect. Bateman just came onto the ground. He wasn't ready to come. He was still knackered. They're really starting to feel the pinch, the Hawks.
Birchall to Burgoyne. Well done, Puopolo. He's made a couple of errors in this quarter, but he's always competitive. That ball coming out. Collingwood winning those 50-50s. Banging forward. Davis. Dawes. Schoenmakers.
Oh.
Well,
that extra 20%, 20% turn.
20 degrees.
Once he got to 380, he was in trouble.
yeah. Davis to put Collingwood in front from the pocket. It's been a long time since they've been in front.
Unfortunately, too, it ended right under the nose of the umpire, didn't it?
Yeah. He's been pretty good in the contest, Schoenmakers, but not so good with ball in hands.
Just playing on their terms a bit at the Collingwood. They squeezed right up to create this turnover. Here's the spin. There's 360. That's 360. Oh, jeez.
Last time they led was 7 minutes into the second quarter. What irony here. If Davis comes on with 2 last quarter goals forward, after being resurrected as a defender this season. All Australian, back pocket, across the face, and Cloak had a little bit of it on a boundary throw, but Collingwood asking Hawthorn the ultimate question now.
With these forward pocket boundary throw-ins really dangerous for the defensive team.
Boundary throw in then. Hale first hand to it, falls behind, grabbed by Lewis, kicks towards the other side. All Collingwood out there, missed by O'Brien. Lurking is Rioli. Well, he beat a paddock of them. He swings it out wide. Game-turning moment, perhaps. Bateman's got the football. Looks inboard. He wants to give it to Shields, but he can't kick that far. Chopped off by Maxwell. Back come the Magpies. Hand pass to Johnson. Johnson unloads to half forward. In front, Jolly. No mark. Hale stayed on his feet. Gave it to Birchall to Sewell. Sends it out wide to Bateman. Buys some time. Goes back to Birchall. Now releases Bateman with the left boot. Taken again by Maxwell. Doing double duty. Sends it down towards half forward. Pendlebury will get a free kick. Don't play on, for goodness sake. Pendlebury. Wide half forward in front of the Great Southern Stand. Pulsating game. 4 points the difference. Pendlebury long down towards full forward. They back their judgment and ghosting in from the side. Cloak takes a strong mark and will kick for the lead with 7 minutes remaining in the final term of the first preliminary final.
Yeah, the big man that they were covering boundary side because that's where Collingwood go, but he came back inboard a little bit, Cloak, and the Hawthorn defence just out-positioned.
And what about the spread of those fingers taking the mark? He spread them like Freddie Mercury's teeth. In he comes. Kick is on the way. The biggest kick of the night. And he puts it straight through the middle.
It's going to really test the resolve of the Hawthorn backline. They've just been able to roll off all night. Gibson has played a mountainous game. Sean Makers has been brave. Stratton playing a role. Hale's going to have to come back at times as well. Suckling's the new player into that back six, but Collingwood have been able to get one-on-one matchups, forcing Gibson in particular to play in to see Alistair Clarkson. That's the real value of having your coach on the pine.
Good mark, good goal, but the Collingwood half-back line all of a sudden has become like a brick wall. Hawthorn haven't got the run to carry it through the middle, and Maxwell and his troops back there are just bouncing it back.
6 of the last 8 goals to Collingwood. Mitchell, good tackle, but he gets up. Burgoyne, Bateman, Lewis looks up to full forward. Hodge at the back, still Hodge, high tackle, not paid. Probably a good decision. He got down low, and this is his Collingwood defence. Standing tall, good kick, ball takes the mark. Well, that's 50 against Sutton.
Don't know about that one.
I'd like to have a look at that Hodge one down the other end. I know he went low, but he just looked like it was the definitive high contact. Let's have a look at this.
That's high.
That's high contact.
I reckon he cost himself by the big...
Yeah, maybe he tried to show the high contact too much.
I think that's what did him in, but it was there. Thomas, Burgoyne hooks it back. Lewis takes the mark. Hawthorn are good at thinking their way through quagmires. That's what they need to do now.
Well, Reid and Maxwell are the ones they need to avoid. The Collingwood defensive presses really working well at the moment.
Bateman now. Reid versus Hale. No one at ground level. Oh, gee. Reid gives it up. And then Hale in a one-on-one. Franklin still with Buddy. Gives it up. Osborne. Big hook. Big hook. Poor kick.
They were the two. Reid effectively scored, and now Maxwell gets the turnover.
That was a tight kick, wasn't it? He had the time and space to just not to try and do the drop punt across the body, not the laying it across the boot.
Smother. You feel like Buddy's got to kick a goal for Hawthorn to win here.
Yeah, Maxwell's a tired man. He's been good in this final term, though. Well, not that time, but they get away with it. Side bottom to the outer side. Great run from Shaw.
Arizona gut running.
Is that what it was? Goes down the boundary line. In front, door surely in the back. No.
So Hawthorn need to really press up. They've got to, if Collingwood do get the ball, they've got to get it off them as quick as possible, not rely on taking the ball off them in their defensive 50.
What a game it's been. One of the best preliminary finals you could hope to see. Brown, Pendlebury, off the ground by Wellingham. He was taken. Hale get the free kick. Don't rule out extra time. Wellingham on the outer side. Just thinking, Bruce, I think the 94 preliminary final, is that right?
Yep.
That was a great game. Geelong in North Melbourne, is that right?
Yep, you can take it.
You're testing him. You're not thinking the Ablett
Thank
mark,
you.
are you?
Oh, yeah, I am.
With Mickey Martin?
Yes. Wrong year? I'm in the wrong decade.
No,
Where am I?
I heard your call on the opener tonight.
Oh, is it there? I should have tuned in. Ball goes out towards the boundary. Carey got 6, Ablett got 3, and the game winner. It was a great game, and this is terrific. Down towards Hawthorn. Shields knocks it away. Blair, he's been important, Blair. Swan smothered off the boot, ricochets to Birchall. Birchall gives the hand pass to Suckling. Suckling, he, such a good kick, normally uses the ball well again. Schoenmakers gets it from Mitchell. Probing kick inside the forward 50. Here comes Bunny. Wheels around. Gathers the football. He's kicked the miracle. He's put it through with the outside of the boot, running to the wrong pocket.
Oh, can you believe that?
Said he had to kick a goal for us.
He at the moment is the Hawthorn forward. They're all fatigued. Karopoulos doing a really good job to try and lock it in. But when it's a one-on-one contest between Franklin and Tarrant, that is an unbelievable finish. Did the ball got to go left? It just drifted right.
Well, the calling cards.
What a finish.
The calling cards mean this is greatness, and that is greatness in a preliminary final. Just got to hang on. Got to hang on. Stick to what they do best here, the Hawks. This is real nerve.
Mr. September, eh?
Absolutely.
451 goals. That's in his best 3 ever, you'd reckon.
Oh, yeah. And what a moment.
Hawthorn back in front. Burgoyne, been really good. Broading forward. Hodge. Bateman. Caught up. Gee, looked high.
Just had to kick it.
He's made a few errors on that centre wing through fatigue in the last quarter. Cloak's been very, very good. Bangs it high. Dawes. No free kick. Dawes again. Was it in the back? Hawthorn haven't got it out yet. Suckling off the ground. Cloak's got it. 2 kicks from goal. Next goal wins, you'd reckon. Cloak bangs it. Schoenmakers drops it. Dawes gets it back. Still in dispute. That ball not coming out. Oh, Schoenmakers.
Oh, poor kid.
Oh, the nerves would be jangling. They're jangling in the stands and they're jangling out on the field. Usually the players are the least nervous of anyone in the stadium.
Well, now it's showing. He was so cool earlier. The stakes so high. Ball throws it on the boots. And like Swan before him, he's kicked a magnificent goal out of that pocket.
You know, those stoppages have been dangerous for Collingwood. Again, it's the goal line shepherd. At least at this stage, this time I think the Collingwood player was in front and just pushed back. You're allowed to do that.
We get a good look at the stoppage. He was just able to get free there. Just watch.
Just read it.
Came from the side. I think he might have been on Osborne at the time. Always have to be on the move. And there's that shepherd. Hawks have to go. Just centre clearance goes with that zone.
Luke Ball kicked the winner against West Coast, basically, didn't he, at the other end of the ground?
Yep.
Oh, Collingwood getting a couple of men back.
Tony, they've still got the 2 back. They can't allow that, Hawthorn.
Hale's been good. Hodge rising to the occasion. Swan, what a game. Kicks the ball out wide. Cloak gets the better of Gibson. Wheels around. Belts it forward. Knows that a score's important. It's rolling.
Got to go now. Just go.
Got to see if they can find it and get it going, which they have.
So can Hawthorn roll the dice?
Stratton under pressure. It affects the kick and bounces out of bounds.
Good result for them.
Just over 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to the grand final. Both these guys know how that feels. Hale and Brown over the top. Hodge spills wide, Suckling under pressure, chopped off by Swan. Well, almost. Rioli had him, then lost him. Swan did brilliantly. The strength we were talking about earlier. How's that for commitment from all points of the compass? Lewis grabbed it, gave it to Burgoyne. Here come Hawthorn. Getting back though is Shaw. They need the boundary, the Hawks, and they get it. Boundary throw in under 2 minutes.
That desperation in the middle of the ground.
Lewis was unbelievable.
Yeah, that couple of efforts. He's been their best tonight.
So one last chance, you reckon? Third man up, Saul couldn't quite. Burgoyne, quick kick forward. Within 20 metres. Puopolo, where's Franklin? He's close. Puopolo can't get away from Tuvey. Oh!
Gee whiz. It's when you get up off your feet like that.
Yeah, they've got to try and hem it in, Hawthorn. Don't cover the releases. Make them kick it long down the line.
So Tuvey, Cloak, Stratton. Side bottom in the right spot. Awkward bounce. Pendlebury. Good kick. Gibson got the toe. Brown will want the... No, he doesn't want the boundary. He does get it now. That's a big play. Lee Brown tonight, how many kicks has he had? He's had two. And that was a very important one.
As a West Australian, I'd like to think he learnt that at the Dockers. That was outstanding. Boundary throw in. Inside the 50 then. What a finish. Collingwood by 3 points. The clock is enemy of the Hawks now. Every contested situation, Collingwood get clean ball. Davis across to side bottom. Kicks inside the forward 50. All Hawks around it. They've got to build from the back. Murphy to Saul. Oh, hasn't Cloak been sensational? This final turn from Travis Cloak, quite outstanding. Inside the last minute. Michael Malthouse still could be coaching his last game. Who knows? At least for the Magpies. Swan has other ideas. Lewis, brilliant. Rioli's got the footy. Rioli run down from behind, holding the ball. And Collingwood, I think, from here, can run down the clock.
Oh, he just had no one forward, Rioli, so he had to try and hold on to wait to see if someone released. But that's what Thomas does so well, the chase down tackle from behind.
Remember his tackle on Whitecross earlier in this match where he created a goal at the other end. So Collingwood, who haven't defended a premiership for 75 years. It's been 75 years since they won a flag and then went into the grand final the next year.
16 contested possessions for Dale Thomas out of his 29 tackles.
It's the best match of 2011 so far, and Collingwood win.
Remarkable scenes, Bruce, in the coach's box. Michael Malthouse in tears.
So many stories to be told here. Luke Ball gets the winner. Tim's with him.
Well, Luke, it's your goal that's put Collingwood to grand final. Talk us through it. I just threw it on the boot, Timmy, and luckily it curled through. It's one of those things, I guess, you know. To be honest, I thought it was slipping away from us, and we probably did pinch it in the end, but I certainly don't hand you free tickets in the grand final. We knew that. We just had to keep persisting. We had the week off, a little fresh. Adelaide had a pretty tough game last week, so keep at it, keep at it. I mean, we didn't play well, we know that. But just one for persistence, I reckon.
It was a brave, courageous effort, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Had to be. And again, we weren't playing well. Things weren't going their way. They were playing good footy. They're a terrific side, and sometimes you just got to persist and grind out a win. And thank God we did.
Well done. Go and enjoy it.
Well, Maxie, there were some huge moments in that last quarter. What a great final.
Oh, mate, these blokes, they just never stayed high, and we were outplayed all night. Just credit to Hawthorn, that was sensational, but our blokes are just grit their teeth and they just never stayed high.
You only had 5 goals at three-quarter time. You probably had to double that in the last quarter to win, which you did. What was the message at three-quarter time? Did you have the belief there?
Just run the risk, just take it on. We didn't use the ball through the corridor like we should have in the first 3 quarters, and they did. They took the risks and we didn't. We played safe down the line. We played into their hands.
And your leaders stood up. If we were just talking the Luke Ball, huge goal. Travis Cloak's last quarter and goal was huge for you as well.
Mate, every one of them. There's just little moments. Ben Reid hurt his quaddy and he kept playing the whole game. So, mate, I'm so proud of him.
A big Darren Jolly limped off. He looked pretty sore after the game. Do you know what's going on there?
Ruckman don't do much anyway, mate. They just get out there and hit the ball, so he'll be right.
I'll get in and join him.
Thanks, buddy.
Great stuff. So Luke Ball plays his 4th grand final in 24 months.
Yeah.
The Saint and Collingwood. I tell you what, if Geelong win by plenty tomorrow, we might have a new favourite for the first time this year. Collingwood were magnificent in that last quarter to get over the line, but we've got some sore boys. Reid and Jolly, a couple of them. Didak didn't impose himself in the last quarter as the sub. Hawthorn, they went down with all guns blazing tonight.
Certainly wouldn't have lost any admirers tonight, the Hawks, the way they went about their football. But Collingwood have been the best side all year. Sometimes when you've been so far ahead, you get challenged for the first time. Just get that out of the system. They need to hit the ground running on Monday and they get straight into the week, the grand final week for the Pies.
Well, that old Geelong win in 07 over Collingwood by 5 points in the prelim. A similar situation.
Had a real feel like that tonight, no doubt about that.
They were sort of in those forward 50 stoppages goals. They were the ones that really were able to separate the game for Collingwood. Sometimes you always think we prefer to concede a behind sometimes than a boundary throw in the forward pocket, and that was really costly for Hawthorn a couple of times there.
And they came fortuitously. Guerra touched the ball when it could have been out of the field. Schoenmakers dropped to mark. There was a stoppage. Here we go.